Dallas, Texas. In an unexpected turn of events, BTS's Jin appeared among thousands of fans at a special event in Dallas and managed to create an incredible emotional wave. Not just a stage performance, but a momentum that seems to be a bond between idols and fans in a deeper dimension. Is this just part of the usual promotional agenda? Or is there a hidden message behind the magnificence so carefully prepared? The moment the auditorium door opened and a searchlight shone on Jin's figure on the stage, the room was instantly exploded by the cries of thousands of ARMY who had been waiting since morning. But what was surprising was Jin's own expression. He seemed to be holding his breath, as if he had no idea that this enthusiasm was still so great, even after his long military vacuum. She stood wearing a denim outfit decorated with studs that immediately went viral on social media. But it was not only her outfit that made the attention focus, but an expression of surprise, emotion, and disbelief that appeared in an instant. Does Jin's reaction reflect the authentic shock of an artist who misses the stage? Or is this part of the production scenario to arouse sympathy and strengthen fan loyalty amid HYB's internal tensions? Many people are starting to ask that question. The thousands of soldiers who filled the venue not only came carrying light sticks, but also an unshakable militant spirit. They chanted yells, sang "The Astronaut" together, and held up banners that read, "We waited for you, Jin." All this momentum was captured in various TikTok, Twitter, and other platforms that quickly topped global trends in just minutes. Jin had stopped talking for a few seconds, his eyes sweeping across the crowded row of seats. In the silence, it was clear a fan was shouting, "We're never leaving," a phrase that, whether intentional or not, has become the center of attention and subject of analysis for observers of Korean pop culture. Is Jin overwhelmed? Or does he just realize that the responsibility to the public is now greater than ever? His gaze is no longer just the glance of a performer. It is the gaze of someone who is shouldering new meaning to his existence in the industry. Jin's appearance in Dallas was not without controversy. Some speculation said that this event was prepared in a hurry as a strategy to reduce issues that were circulating in HYB's internal. Others believe that Jin is being directed to pave the way for BTS's next project. Not a few also associate this event with Bang Si-hyuk's managerial maneuvers, which have recently been increasingly active in regulating the public narrative after the return of BTS members from the military. But does the ARMY care about that? Most focused only on the fact that Jin returned, appeared with his trademark smile, and greeted fans with a simple but electrifying phrase, "I'm here because you guys never left." Jin's visuals that night, combined with the majestic aura of the stage and the loving hysteria of the masses, created the perfect picture of what is called the fan idol phenomenon on a global scale. He stands not just as an artist, but a symbol of dedication and the sustainability of the relationship between music, emotion, and community. But now the question is this event really purely a warm meeting with no other motives behind the scenes? Is the genie fully aware of the grand narrative that is being formed over her? And how can the public tell which are facts and which are already packaged by the entertainment industry? In the fast-paced digital age and full of visual manipulation, the public is required to not only be a passive audience. We have to ask, are these moments born of authenticity, or are they part of a calculation carefully prepared by the production and corporate communications teams? Please note that some information about this event comes from various unofficial sources such as TikTok, Fancam YouTube, Twitter threads, and forum comments. Thus, it is important to remain skeptical and not immediately believe any scattered visualization or narrative. Especially when the Korean entertainment industry is known to have a high ability to shape public perception through aesthetics, music, and moments that seem natural. Finally, the reflective question we ask you AS readers and ARMY is, do you really believe that everything that happened on stage that night was spontaneous and sincere? Or are you beginning to suspect that there is another agenda underway? Do you feel emotionally connected because of a genuine love for the genie, or because the narrative was deliberately composed for you to feel that attachment? We are not here to give you an absolute answer. We convey only moments, questions, and doubts, and we invite you to critically examine them all. Thanks for reading. Don't forget to subscribe to HIT Korean News for more in-depth discussion, exclusive analysis, and interesting facts about the world of K-pop that you don't always find elsewhere. But behind the cheers of thousands of armies and the global media spotlight, the big question remains: have we just witnessed a truly heartfelt event? Or is it part of the strategic communications agenda so neatly laid out by the entertainment industry? When the camera is highlighted, when every gesture of the genie is captured and disseminated in the format of a short clip on TikTok or YouTube fan cam, don't we need to ask, who really controls the narrative? The visual of Jin standing in the crowd, wearing a studded patterned denim suit that quickly became iconic on social media, has shaped the mass perception that this is a heartfelt moment between the idol and his fans. However, it is worth taking a closer look. Was the outfit chosen by the genie herself, or was it the result of the planning of a team of stylists to create a powerful visual effect on camera? Were the phrases he uttered like, "I'm here because you never leave," born spontaneously from the heart, or were they phrases that had been polished and curated to touch the public's emotions with maximum efficiency? We live in an age when emotional connectedness can be constructed, when lighting, camera angles, facial expressions, even pauses in speech can be calculated to create the illusion of authenticity. Then an important question must be asked: was Jin's emotional moment in Dallas an honest reflection of his feelings? Or was it part of a mass production of emotions designed to strengthen fan loyalty? Keep in mind, the information circulating about this event is mostly sourced from short video content, photos that have gone through a rigorous selection process, as well as social media narratives that are very prone to bias and distortion. How many of us watch a 30-second snippet of video and then conclude the whole truth of the event? How many of us unconsciously allow ourselves to be guided by momentary emotions without questioning who is producing the narrative? If indeed this was a truly spontaneous and emotional moment, why was HYB's official media so quick to release content with high production quality? Why do all the stage elements, lighting, camera angles, and interactions seem so broadcast ready? This is not an accusation, but rather a call to rethink. Doesn't every industry, including entertainment, have an interest in shaping public perception? Is it possible that the show is designed to cover bigger issues behind the scenes, such as internal company tensions, declining stock performance, or the absence of some members in the main agendas? Is Jin being leveraged to rebuild the group's image ahead of a specific commercial agenda? Are we as an audience being asked to participate in the narrative of togetherness and nostalgia in order to strengthen the fanbase structure? Or even further, are we being mobilized to be part of a highly effective, yet often invisible, marketing strategy? Let's go back to the source of information. Many of the videos and photos circulating are from fancam, ARMY vlogs, to Twitter threads. Not a few add subjective narratives. The genie was seen crying. She bit her lip because she was holding back tears. She was silent because she was too haru. But to what extent can we rely on visual interpretation without full context? How many hoaxes and emotional assumptions are never verified but still believed because they align with our expectations as fans? In this context, it is important to ask, does this news reflect facts? Or is it just a collective perception formed because social media works faster than logic? Is this article a mirror of reality? Or does it just extend the flow of narratives that are not necessarily true? As spectators, we have a greater responsibility than mere idolizing. We must be skeptical. We must question. We must dare to admit that not everything that looks sincere is really born of sincerity. The entertainment world has an incredible power to polish reality, edit the truth, and create drama that seems more real than reality itself. Are we witnessing a reality or a fiction designed to create the effect of mass emotional intimacy? Jin probably loves his fans very much, and this statement is beyond doubt. But are all the elements that make up the Dallas show organic? Is there no management intervention, content planning, even market calculations behind the scenes? We should start questioning, not out of personal suspicion of Jin or BTS, but as a form of maturity in addressing the industry. Emotions can be manipulated, visuals can be constructed, and we, as spectators, must always remember that not every cry is an expression of sadness, and not every smile means happiness. Then we give it back to you. Do you really believe that these events are real? Or is this just an engineering aimed at attracting media attention and strengthening the business structure? Do you feel touched because of authentic love, or because you are being directed to feel that way? Critical thinking does not mean destroying memories, but making sure that we are not victims of repeated emotional manipulation. We reiterate that some of the information in this article comes from TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and other fan media, which until now has not been fully verified independently. So we invite you all to continue to filter information with common sense, healthy skepticism, and deep reflection. Thanks for reading, and keep thinking. In the endless spotlight and applause, BTS's Jin special in Dallas did leave a lot of impressions, both emotional and intellectual. But then again, we need to ask, are all these moments really happening without intervention? Or are we being part of a carefully produced drama by the forces of the media, agencies, and the global entertainment industry? It's not wrong to feel touched or inspired by the presence of a public figure like Kim Seokjin. He is known as a person who has a strong charisma, warm interaction, and an empathetic image. However, in an industrial climate increasingly loaded with commercial interests, even kindness can be a tool to maintain market dominance. It's entirely possible that the army in Dallas actually felt an honest emotional connectedness. The cheers, tears, and mass singing that accompanied Jin's steps on stage could not be ignored as a stage effect. Yet if we stop at just getting there, without questioning the processes behind the scenes, we will lose the much broader context of how the industry works. Remember that in this industry, even authenticity can be a product. We need to consider the possibility that this moment, however organic it may seem, has actually become part of a larger communication strategy that has been carefully prepared. Whether it's to support HYB's image, anticipate criticism from the public, shift focus away from internal issues, or rebuild members. Post-military engagement SO, dear reader, we invite you to raise one important question. Will you continue to be a passive consumer of the presented narrative? Or are you ready to become an active observer who is not easily lulled by surface gloss? Is Jin really coming back for us? Or are we simply being asked to continue to be present in order to revive the economic cycle of the industry that requires the existence of a fan base as a social currency? And further, are the army cheers in Dallas a celebration of togetherness, or a reaction directed through algorithms, content agendas, and collective euphoria? Shaped through massive, repetitive consumption of information, this kind of criticism is not to lower the value of BTS's Jin as an individual. Rather, it is a form of respect for the intelligence of fans. Because ARMY has, over the years, been known as the most intellectually, socially, and strategically engaged fandom. It is time to defend that reputation in a way that is more critical of the narratives that are presented. Finally, we reiterate that the entire set of information used in this writing was gathered from a variety of unofficial sources, from snippets of TikTok videos, user comments on YouTube, viral threads on Twitter, to uploads from an international fan base. The veracity of such data is still very likely to be partial, biased, even speculative. Therefore, we do not ask you to fully believe what you read here, which we hope you begin to learn to doubt, not to hate, not to bring down, but to maintain a healthy distance from the illusions that are often wrapped in emotions. The question now comes back to you. Are we witnessing a moment of genuine awakening from BTS's Jin, or is it being brought into a big scenario written by an invisible industrial power? And if this is indeed a fabrication, how dare we call it that? In the midst of such a deep love for the person who has accompanied us for so many years, reflect, respond. Don't let emotions take over your entire common sense, because in the modern world of entertainment, even the truth can be part of the show.